Bitcoin FOMO is building. Our special fear and greed index just hit 80. What does it mean for Bitcoin? Can we keep rising? Or is it time to sell your holdings? Let's analyze.
My crypto paradise.
Hello ladies and gentlemen of the Paradise Club, this is Simon from My Crypto Paradise. Today is Saturday, last video of this week, and in the previous video I've shared with you that if Bitcoin will reclaim this resistance, we will start pumping towards $121,000. As you can see, we have got a successful reclaim, but I'm not gonna lie, it was very fast. All happened in a matter of a few hours, but we have got a successful break because there was a volume above average with this breakout, and then we got the bullish retest I'm always talking about, right? And this retest hold on 4-hour time frame, we have also created a successfully bullish hammer candlestick pattern, and that is the reason that we have pumped by around, let me see, 7%, ladies and gentlemen. And if you have not been preparing for this, you have not been able to catch it. With Paradise and VIPs, we have been preparing for it because we have created a short-term trade with a limit at $108,000, ladies and gentlemen. And just yesterday we have taken our last take profit target, and with our position size channel strategy we have got a net profit of 407%. Ladies and gentlemen, the question right now is Bitcoin in a dangerous situation right here, right below our resistance? Well, let's analyze, and we will start with understanding what happened on the footprint before the pump. Okay, so let's analyze the footprint right here, and let's try to look for some imbalances and some absorption of selling pressure. Can you see something on these few candles? Well, I see loads of selling imbalances, stacked ones right here at this candle before we have got the surge to the upside. So as you can see, during this small consolidation that taken just few hours, all right, we have got stacked imbalances right here, right before the start of the pump, ladies and gentlemen. So what happened is basically that there was some huge selling going on, but the price didn't move, as you can see, right? So there was some absorption of the selling pressure, so that means somebody accumulated this selling pressure, and that is the reason that we have started pumping to the upside. And what about now? What can we see? Well, we can see some imbalance, buying imbalance right here, and as you can see, the second candle didn't close higher than the previous one, right? So there is some some buying absorption right now, but what we also see, a selling absorption right here, and as you know, we are waiting for some stacked imbalances. For example, we have had right here 3 in a row. Okay, this is exactly what you want to see. And if the next candle after these kind of stacked selling imbalances will not close lower, all right, this is your confirmation that we are going higher, because somebody big, some institutional money being accumulating the selling pressure, and right now we are waiting for the buying pressure to be distributed. All right, so we are waiting for absorption of a bullish buying pressure. So we can see right now some selling imbalances, and we really waiting for the confirmation. If we will have selling stacked selling imbalances and we will not start moving to the downside, we will definitely be looking to start pushing higher towards our $121,000. If we will start seeing like stacked buying absorption, we will definitely look for our support zones that I will be talking about in this video. So together with that, let's have a look at funding rates. Ladies and gentlemen, funding rates on our website mycryptoparadise.com, a special kind of funding rates, accumulated one. You can see how red we are. Okay, you can sit in front of the screen and basically get a red light therapy looking at these numbers. This means that in the market there are so much more long positions than short positions at the moment, so the long positions are really vulnerable for the next big move. And I'm not talking about 5% moves, I'm not talking about 7% moves, I'm talking about the big moves that will liquidate everybody who is making small amount of money for some period of time, but then the market hits, and it always does, ladies and gentlemen, and it will basically get rid of all the crypto noobs. And as a professional traders, our job is to make sure that we will survive, okay? And we need to be henceforth very careful about these kind of extreme situations. And I'm not gonna lie, why this is extreme situation. Let's take a look at the fear and greed index. You know that the fear and greed index on mycryptoparadise.com is always working on daily time frame. When we hit 80, look at that, look what happened previously. When we hit 80 right here, then the Bitcoin price started to slide to the downside, ladies and gentlemen, and we have been hitting in $99,000. And right now, take a look how fast we have went from around 20 towards 80 on daily time frame. This is very quick. All right, previously it was very slow, so it didn't ended up with some huge movement, but take a look how fast we have went from around 20 towards 80. So 80 usually works as a topping signal, ladies and gentlemen. For 3 times we have had that in the past 3 months, and voila, we are back at 80. So I would be very careful, because right now we are getting into an extreme greed, ladies and gentlemen, and these are the times, if you're a mean reversion trader, that you should be paying a big attention to these numbers. All right, let's take a look at some liquidation pools. We can see a big one above us. There is none, right? None big one that is brighting like a diamond. But let's take a look right here below us at around $110,000. There is a huge liquidation pool right here, and it's basically from over-leveraged long positions that have their stop losses stuck right below the previous low on the higher degree time frame, and also liquidation levels. So the market makers obviously will be hunting this liquidity, and around $109,000 to $110,000 I'm gonna be showing very soon from the technical perspective why this level is also very important. All right, let's take a look at some big buy walls and sell walls. Above us there is a big sell wall stuck right below our major resistance area that I will be talking about in a minute once we take a look at some technical analysis as well. So 120, ladies and gentlemen, on Binance futures. All right, huge sell wall worth, oh my god, over $100 million. All right, together with that, this is just futures, but together with that we have $84 million sell wall right at the same place on spot exchanges. Okay, aggregated from spot exchanges, this is going to be over $100 million. All right, so this is extremely important to understand. If we take a look at the cumulative volume delta, you can see that the future market is not taking any profit. Okay, the futures market is not taking any profit, so the stacked long positions are still there and they are vulnerable. You can see that on open interest as well, we have went to the upside very quickly. This is going to be dangerous for long positions. Okay, because if we take a look at the cumulative volume delta from the spot market, you can see a clear divergence as we are creating lower highs and higher highs on the price action. As you can see, the cumulative volume delta from spot exchanges is creating lower highs and lower lows. This is a clear bearish divergence, ladies and gentlemen, and it basically means that the spot exchange is selling. All right, and the futures market not at all. All right, this is gonna tell you something, because you understand the money, the smart money, they are not working with over leveraged positions, right? They have loads of money and they are operating on spot exchange. That is why if you want to track the smart money, and you should, because you know that in around 3-year period always the smart money win against the dump money. Okay, so you should be tracking the smart money, and the smart money obviously is selling into this price action higher. Okay, so they are using this buying liquidity for selling. Okay, so this is important to understand, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't mean that we will start crashing right now, but it means you should be very careful with over leveraged long positions. Let's take a look at some technical analysis. First of all, I want to share with you dollar index. You remember this chart, right? We are finishing right now the ABC corrective mode wave. Dollar index is at support, huge support made out of Fibonacci retracement levels. There is also loads of confluences from the historic price action, ladies and gentlemen. It worked as a support, then it worked as a resistance right here. Very important demand zone right now, and we believe that from the Elliott wave theory, we are right now finishing the corrective mode wave, and we will very soon start to go to the upside. And what does it mean? Well, right now the dollar is extremely weak, right? The dollar is extremely weak, and you can see how it was crashing, and it's basically disaster for dollar. This is not good for dollar. It is a disaster for dollar, and I'm sorry for all Americans, because they have been struggling because of that. All right, who's not been struggling are the stocks. All right, are the stocks and Bitcoin, because the Bitcoin and the stocks been pushing, not only because people are buying too much of a stocks and too much of a Bitcoin, but also because dollar is actually getting weaker, all right? And as you know, the stocks, S&P 500, everything is bond to dollar, Bitcoin as well, right? BTC, USDT. So basically everything is bond with dollar, and if dollar is getting weaker, obviously the other things are getting weaker that are bond with dollar. So right now watching DY is extremely important because you can see we are at support. However, what isn't at support is Bitcoin. Bitcoin is at resistance, and we are nearing the 121 resistance that I've been talking about with the Paradise team in our My Crypto Paradise free Telegram channel back in June. Ladies and gentlemen, what have I told you with the Paradise team? If Bitcoin reclaims key resistances, wave B could extend to 121 with very high probability. And where we are right now, we are close to $121,000, ladies and gentlemen. So it seems like we are creating the idealized corrective wave pattern where this correction is being running flat, ladies and gentlemen, and this B wave is extending the previous high of the start of the A wave, okay? So this is a classic idealized corrective wave, ladies and gentlemen, extended one. That means a running flat pattern, and right now we are nearing the $121,000 resistance. So it is very dangerous. It doesn't mean we need to go down immediately, but it means you should be very careful. However, if we will start going above and we will start having a reclaim of that $121,000, we can go to 135. As you know from our free Telegram channel, I've been telling that this can come with moderate probability before we start crashing towards $44,000, which is needed if we want to go by the end of 2026, early 2027 towards $240,000. All right, I'm not gonna go through the Elliott wave theory right now. If you've been watching these videos for some time, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I want to shift your focus right to high time frame chart, ladies and gentlemen, because right here I'm actually seeing ABC, okay? And talking about ABC, here we have the B wave that might be a zigzag, and what I'm talking about is the rule of Elliott wave theory that the A wave equals the C wave from that ABC. So ABC, okay? So there is a possibility if this is ABC zigzag, all right, that is basically making the higher degree B wave. When this is the A wave, this is going to be the B wave that might go higher, and then we will have the C wave. So if the B wave is indeed a zigzag, basically it subdivides itself into another 3 smaller waves, the A wave will equal the C wave, and we might go towards $135,000. So be aware of that if we will start reclaiming $121,000, we might start pumping even towards 135, and it will be still absolutely all right from the idealized corrective wave perspective, okay? So right now, however, to get more probabilities and let's understand the market even more, let's zoom in, let's take a look what's going on daily time frame. Ladies and gentlemen, right here, I don't know what you are seeing, I'm seeing ABC on the lower degree time frame, okay? This is E, this is A, this is B, that been created by ABC flat, where this is the end of the A wave, and then we have ABC flat, running flat, where you can see also that the B wave going beyond the start of the A wave, all right? So this structure right here, if you can see it right here, where basically this is the end of the A wave, then B wave, and then C wave, is something similar what we are seeing right here, okay? What we are seeing on the higher degree chart. But this, what you are seeing right here, is a running flat, okay? I do believe that we are witnessing on the higher degree chart an expanded flat, where the C wave will go way beyond the end of the B wave, okay? For that, we have rules that been respecting in the market, and I've been explaining everything in the previous videos why this is going to be the case with the highest probability, all right? There are also other confluences that supporting the idea that the C wave will be expanded inside of an expanded flat pattern, and it will hit exactly $44,000 before we can go higher, right? So right now what I'm seeing right here on daily time frame is ABC as well. If this is a zigzag, the A wave needs to equal the C wave, right? So if I put it at the end of the B wave, we can see that right now we are equaling A wave equals C wave. So the C wave might start to end soon, all right? So it means that right now we are also respecting the channel from that 2 points that I've taken right here and right here. I've copied the slope of this ascending trend line, placed it to the top of the A wave, and that gave me the possible target of the C wave, all right? So here are coming few important lessons. If we will start rejecting, it means that we are going down towards the level I will be talking about very soon. And if we will start reclaiming this ascending trend line right here, it will mean basically that we might go higher towards that $121,000. If we will reclaim $121,000, we can go towards that next major resistance at $135,000, all right? But as you can see, obviously, this is extremely strong resistance. Not only we have the major resistance at $121,000, then we have also the big sell walls there, and right now also we have the channel, ascending channel trend line right here from this zigzag pattern that's working as a resistance as well, right? So when we are talking about probabilities, I'm talking about confluences. More confluences at some point means bigger probability of one thing happening. And I'm sorry, right now the probability is that we will start rejecting, not keep going to the upside as everybody else is talking about, all right? So I'm being very careful right now, ladies and gentlemen. There is a high probability that Bitcoin will start moving down towards $109,000. And as you know, the $109,000 wasn't just the previous resistance, okay, made out of this historic price action. It was also a very important Fibonacci retracement level, right? And if we are talking about the Fibonacci retracement level, I'm talking about the 1.618 Fibonacci retracement level that's being confirmed from the 4-hour time frame as well, and it's really positioned at around $110,000 to $109,000, where also we have right here the VPVR, ladies and gentlemen. If I put this down, we can see a VPVR right here at $109,000, ladies and gentlemen. So there is going to be loads of buying pressure coming in. Hope you can see that as well. Below us, in between of this important level, there are no strong buy walls. So nobody is bidding this. Nobody is bidding this place just yet. We are monitoring with the Paradise team the market 24/7. There might come new buy limit orders, but nobody so far is bidding this zone between the 109 and the current price $117,000, ladies and gentlemen. So I would be very careful right here. What we can see from the medium time frame, from this 4-hour time frame chart, is also some bearish confirmation, an early one, this shooting star candlestick pattern, okay? As you know from our MCP Free University, this shooting star pattern you are usually seeing at the reversal points, all right? After some uptrend, there is usually a shooting star that basically works as a reversal and pointing to the probabilities that we might soon start seeing a bearish trend. So this is kind of dangerous for the confirmations, ladies and gentlemen. I'm watching the 1-hour time frame right now. You can see that we are already breaking below the VPVR, and also we are trying to reclaim this moving average orange trend line, all right? So what I want to see is a break to the downside with some more than average volume, which we don't have right now on 1-hour time frame, okay? And what I want to see for confirmation is definitely a proper reclaim. And as you already know, how the reclaim is being built, basically by the breakout, successful breakout with volume above average, which we don't have just yet. And then you need to have a retest, and basically after some ultra low time frame confirmations from double top and some bearish candlestick patterns, you can make an entry because the probabilities pointing to the downwards are increasing. And because you are a great professional trader, you always trade with a great risk reward, because you understand that's much more important than a win rate. So you can place your stop loss very tight to the entry, and then you know that you are targeting the most major levels, and right now the most major level is $109,000, ladies and gentlemen. So if the price action will have a confirmation, ladies and gentlemen, I'm looking for $109,000 as a next major, from the medium time frame perspective, support for Bitcoin. Obviously, after that I will reveal to you the next targets. Smash the like button. As you know, I'm recording for you every Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. Be also careful about this bullish divergence right now. As you can see, the price action is making higher low, but the bullish divergence means that the histogram on MACD is creating lower low. All right, so lots of exhaustion on 1 hour time frame from the bearish side right here. So definitely you don't want to see that. Okay, I'm waiting for proper confirmations. That means also from all of these oscillators, the same way as from the price action and other insights data that I'm watching with the Paradise team on daily basis. And in Paradise Family VIP, we are afterwards sharing a clear entry and exit signals for our Paradise Family VIP members. All right, this is all from me. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I will see you again on Tuesday. Cheers.